Hi, this is Happy Bird from happybirdscraftinghaven.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make a super simple little wired ribbon angel ornament. And all I used was pipe cleaner, of course wired ribbon, some bling, and an acrylic pearl head, 14 millimeter, and that's it. And I just put it together with hot glue. So I'll show you how I did that. And I do have another angel ornament. In fact, it was the first video I put up, and but it's a little different. It's fan folded wired ribbon. You might want to check it out. The quality of the video is not that good because it was an older camera, and being that it was my first video, I was practically yelling. So I didn't know what I was doing. I just decided I was going to start filming, and I put it up, and that's what I did. So anyway, I'll show you how to make this. First thing you're going to need is some pipe cleaners. Some people call these tinsel stems, and this says shimmer sticks. So they have a lot of different names, but this is in the iridescent, and I found this in the kids section at Walmart, where all the googly eyes are and the bells and, you know, the felt, things like that. And this was not expensive at all. I think it was something like 97 cents, and it has 12 sticks in each package. So you can get 12 angels out of this one package. Okay. And the next thing you're going to need is you're going to need 2 pieces of wire ribbon. Now, in a lot of my other videos, the projects that I use, they have the wide edge to them, and I specifically tell people in my video to use those with a wide edge. Well, with this project, it's very important that you pick ribbon with a narrow edge, because we're going to use that wire that you see that pops out. Okay? So it's very important. So cut one 10-inch piece and one 8-inch piece. The 10-inch piece is going to be for the wings, and the 8-inch piece will be the angel skirt. Okay? So now I'm going to take 14 millimeter round pearl, and you can't use the regular pearls because they won't fit onto the pipe cleaner. The holes are much smaller. For the acrylic pearls, they're always larger. If you can't find acrylic pearls, you can go on eBay or Etsy. They have them, and they're very cheap. Just type in the words acrylic pearl and then round, and you'll see a whole bunch pop up. So, okay, I'm going to slip this on the pipe cleaner, and you're going to leave about, well, I would say at least 2 inches at the top, at least, for the crown. And you can kind of see if you have enough by bending this around. That looks pretty good. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to leave this up like this, okay? So, for this part, what you're going to do is you're going to bend it like this. Kind of twist that around the neck a little bit. Come down. Bend this up like this again. So it looks like you have 2 legs if you squeeze them together. And just twist it a couple of times snugly around the neck again. Okay, so now I'm going to cut off this little excess here. And I'm going to use my nipper tool. You don't have to have a nipper tool. You can use wire cutters. And you can buy a cheap pair of wire cutters at the Dollar Tree for 97 cents. Oh, listen to me. For $1. I have 97 cents on my brain. Okay. There we go. And don't worry about this part. We're just using this to hold it, but you won't see it at all once we put the ribbon angel together, because we're going to cut it off. Okay, but we're not going to do that yet. We need this to hold on to. Alright, so now we're going to set aside what looks very funky right now. And we're going to take the 8-inch piece of ribbon, and I'm going to push this through and hang on to this little piece of wire. And then I'm going to take the other end and push that on through and hang on to this piece of wire. So I have 2 pieces of wire, and I'm going to put those 2 pieces together because I want to have a nice firm grip on it. Okay? And let's see. Okay. So now I'm just going to start gently pulling this down and then moving my fingers up as I go. Like that. And you can't do it all at once. You have to do it a little at a time. Just have patience. And then when you feel like you've scrunched this up as tightly as you can, you're going to take these 2 pieces of wire and we're going to tie them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull really hard. Because once you pull them really hard, that'll close the circle even more. See? Like that. And then I'm going to tie it again. And honestly, this is the toughest part of the whole project. So, if you can do this skirt, you can make this angel. Okay. And I'm going to pull it again, and I'm just going to make about 3 or 4 of these little knots. Pull real tight. Now I'm going to clip off the excess after I twist it about 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Come in with my nipper tool and cut it. And then I'm going to straighten it out a little. And see the size hole? About the size of the tip of your pinky. And now I'm going to take the back part, since this is open, and I'm going to put the tiniest drop of glue on the edge here. And I'm going to match this up perfectly. I'm going to hold on to it for just a second or two. This is low temp hot glue, by the way. Okay, so now we have this. I'm just leaving that open. I don't think that's going to hurt anything. If it bothers you, you can put a little tiny dot of hot glue here. but that doesn't bother me. Okay, so it looks kind of like you have a bell. But we're gonna adjust this dress after we put this all together anyway. Bend this wire down. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to take this part of the angel and you're gonna pull the head off for now. Slip this through like that. Put the head back on. Make sure it goes to the bottom. And you want this part of the dress, of course, to be the back. Alright. So now we have this. I'm going to hold the angel by the little legs here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little halo for this angel. It's very simple. You just make a loop at the top like this. And I just kind of tuck the excess wire like that. And then you can adjust it. You can make it sitting a little more upwards or any way you'd like. And we're going to put some bling around the edges a little later on, so there we go, just like that. Now I'm going to put just a little dot of hot glue in the back of the angel's neck. Make sure I have the back of the neck here. There we go. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Just the tiniest dot. Just enough to kind of hold that dress. Okay? So the angel's head doesn't spin around. Okay, now I'm going to kind of keep this belled, but I'm going to press it. I'm not going to have it out like this. I'm just going to press it a little bit down. And you can adjust it by making little kinks, you know, and that way it looks like it's flowing. Just make little kinks in the dress and like that. See? Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, besides adjust the halo, and I might even put another little dot of hot glue in the front here too, just for the heck of it. Just the tiniest dot. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Now, like I said, you can fiddle with the dress and everything afterwards. We're going to do the wings. And normally it wouldn't take this long to do the angel, just that I'm explaining everything in detail, or trying to. So I'm going to set this aside for a moment. And this is very simple. All you do is loop it on around like this and leave about, oh, I would say hot glue it about 1/4 of an inch right there. And I'm just going to put a tiny little dot here and a tiny little dot here. You don't want a lot, just to kind of hold it, because we're going to tie it with floral wire, real thin floral wire. Oh gosh, that's what I forgot here. I'm always forgetting something. I try to make sure I have everything to set up, and it seems like I always forget something. Okay, let's see. Wire. Yeah. Now, it doesn't matter what color the wire is or anything. You can buy floral wire. This is 26 gauge. Because we're going to cover it anyway, you're not going to see it. I got this at Michael's. This bead landing wire, it's really strange because I had to write the gauge on here. This is 28 gauge. Because it has it on the outside of the package, the gauge. But once you throw the package away, when you open it and take this out, it doesn't have the gauge written on it. You have to write it on yourself. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and use the floral wire though today, since I have a lot of that. And you can get it in 26, 28 gauge, that's fine. Just really thin and something that's super flexible. So I'm just going to take a length of this wire, not really measuring it out or anything, I'm just maybe cut off about a foot. And you can see where I kind of hot glued it here. So I want that part to be right here in the middle. Okay. And let's see. Okay, folding that flat. Now I'm going to kind of scrunch it up. And don't worry about how it looks when you first scrunch it up, because we'll adjust that. Just try to get the wire in the middle, like that, as best you can. And just pull snugly and wrap. Wrap it around like this. And then I'm going to wrap it around this side. And, you know, that's about it. About like that. And I'm going to cut this off here. And if you have a pair of pliers or something like that, it doesn't have to be jewelry making pliers. You can squeeze this flat, this wire, and it'll really give it a nice good hold. And we're going to kind of poof these out a little bit on each side. And you can make adjustments, you know, as you go. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, we're going to hot glue it on the back. Now be careful, you don't want to hot glue it on the angel's head, because you don't want to push her head forward. You want to hot glue it right here on the back of the dress, towards the top, not on the head, not on the neck, on the back of the dress, okay? Because if you don't hot glue it on the back of the dress and you decide you're going to hot glue it up here on the head or on the neck, it'll look weird from the side. It'll look like her head's being pushed forward. Ask me how I know. Okay, so I'm going to put a nice, generous blob of hot glue there. And I'm going to glue it right on the dress. Just going to hold it for a few seconds. Okay. And next I'm going to take some bling, and I'm going to show you here on the one that I already made. I put a large piece of bling in the middle to cover up the wire. I just like things to look finished. So take a flat back rhinestone I got from Michael's, and it's a large one, fairly large. And put a little hot glue on here. And put it right on the wire here to cover that up. And now on the front, we're going to put some bling on the little pipe cleaner crown and right here on the front. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to put this little flat back acrylic heart-shaped rhinestone right here on the front of the dress. Okay, I bought these years and years ago, and I also had a very good friend send me some, but I don't recall which craft store, but I'm sure that they have them out there. And if they don't have them at your hobby store or your craft store, I'm sure that they would sell them online. Okay, and so now I'm going to put some little teeny tiny bling using my favorite bling from Recollections. I'm going to find the tiniest ones and hot glue those around the crown part. And I'll probably need maybe 6 of them for that. Okay. And so I'll start by putting one right here in the middle in the front. Hot glue. And this is low temp, so put a tiny bit of glue and glue this right here in the front. And it holds really well because it grabs onto that the fuzzies on the pipe cleaner. Okay, and then get another one. Okay, just like that. And put one right here. And another one on the other side. Hot glue. Maybe about here. And you can pull off any little stringy things later. And then a couple more. 3 more, I think, for the back. We'll have to see. No, I used about 5. Thought it was 6, but just depends on how close or how far apart you want to put them. And there. Okay. So we have our little blingy crown, and you can pick off all the little stringy thingies. And so at this point, all we want to do is just adjust it. I don't have it belled out like that. I like it just a little bit of poof like that in the front. And then, like I said, I can play with her dress by putting little kinks here in the bottom and give it a flowing effect. And then you can adjust these wings, make them a little more poofy. And that's about it. Now you don't have to leave these pipe cleaners in. I just made these just to hold on to them. If you don't like the look of being able to see this through this wire ribbon, all you have to do is take your wire cutters or your nipper tool reach in there and just cut off the legs. And which is what I did, because I wanted to give it kind of a floating look. You know, I didn't want there to be a lot of distraction in there with these pipe cleaners coming up. So see? And what I used to hang the angel, I didn't use beading thread. I used this real strong white upholstery thread, and I picked this up at Walmart a few years back, but I'm sure they still have it. And it's not like ordinary thread. It's very strong, very strong. You can't even break it, really. I mean, without really hurting yourself. So all I did was just cut a piece off, and I made a loop like so. And we want to put this around the angel's head and neck, and then pull this like this. Make sure it's around the neck. Pull it like that, see? And you want the knot to be on the back of the neck, okay? So, then I just tied it a few times. I'm trying to see around the camera, sorry about that. Just tied this a few times. Oh, good grief. I always do this on camera. And so the knot won't slip out after you cut it. You can just rub a little bit of the tacky glue in between your fingers and just put it on the knot after you cut it. Or cut the excess, I should say. I don't know why I always fumble on camera. Okay, I'm just going to cut this off. Okay, and yeah, this little part here, just rub a little bit of tacky glue and do this and let it dry, and it won't come undone. And then you just hang it up. So that's about it. Like that. And of course you're gonna, oh, I'm showing the back. Okay, there we go. I knew something didn't look quite right. Alright, so this is the back part. There we go. And there's the little angel. There we go. What did I do? Did I put this? Yeah, I strangled my angel by putting it in the front. I don't know what's the matter with me. Okay, so I have that towards the back. So I hope you really enjoyed this project and you have a lot of fun with it. I know I did. It was actually easier for me to make off camera because I get kind of nervous sometimes when I'm on camera showing people. But I hope you were able to follow through, and I didn't confuse you too much. So that's about it. Right here. God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.